Always good to be in the lab with my co-host, my partner, my homie, Uncle Mo. How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. Cannot complain. Cannot complain. Just pushing the envelope one day at a time.
Yeah.
We are fastly approaching the month of June. You know, we're almost halfway through 2024.
And
Who'd have ever
it's
thought?
flown by, bro. Like honestly,
Man.
there's been so much. Obviously I've had some personal impediments. That's kind of been my word for April. But an impediment, I don't mean in a negative way, but like there's things that you got to work through or work over or work beyond
Obstacles.
and I'm grateful for them. It kind of actually what comes to mind is the last two messages my pastor has delivered has just been spot on. I won't divulge, but shout out to Pastor Earl McClellan of Shoreline City here in Dallas. But we're all gifted with certain talents, right? And a lot of our talents are inside of us, and we just have to figure out how to unlock those. And ideally, right, we should be seeking the source to figure out how to do said things. But it's been a very eventful last 2-3 weeks, but at the same time also a lot of steadiness inside of that too. And so learning kind of to operate within those elements has been interesting, not in a bad way, but just growth opportunities, for me on a personal side.
That said, the whole basis of this show is having a growth mindset.
Yes, sir.
Towards whatever it is that you are trying to pursue in life.
Facts.
We're knocking on the door like what 215, 220. I don't know. I've lost count at this point as far as episodes are concerned.
We've got a bank.
Yeah, a real live bank, a catalog, if you will.
For sure. Visionaries. Make sure you guys check out our YouTube page, the Vision Lab podcast. Go ahead and check out all the archives. I mean, there's 200 plus phenomenal episodes that you guys can learn from, and you'll hear it at the end of the show. Each one of our guests are dropping nuggets of wisdom on the trail of life. So, if you can tap into those, there's just an abundance of information, knowledge, and opportunities for you guys to grow.
So today's guest is, and I can't wait to hear him open up and really tell us about his journey, because he is literally in the throes of it, if you will.
Yeah.
Today's guest is a true example of making a decision, having a growth mindset behind it, and then stepping on the gas and going for it.
It's a beautiful thing in and of itself.
Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. Today's guest is a native of Atlanta, Georgia.
ATL, shouted.
He is a new face in the world of R&B music, and he was gracious enough to bless us with some of his time while he was here in DFW. Please welcome Jay Cameron to the Vision Lab podcast.
How y'all doing?
Hey.
What's up?
Good morning. How are you today, sir?
Doing good, y'all. How y'all doing?
Man, hey, we're blessed, man. Very, very grateful. Thank you for jumping into the lab, man.
For sure.
What's up with the A, though?
Man, it's lit.
Yeah.
It's
already.
lit. It's going
already,
crazy.
man.
Shit, it's just a lot of shit going on. A
Yeah.
lot of people out there. A lot of big moves. A lot of big money.
Yeah. Well, I hope you get your hand on your piece of the pie.
For sure.
You know what
That's
I'm saying?
the
And then don't forget about the little people either.
Oh God. You gotta worry about that. We
Yeah.
gonna make sure everybody's straight.
Already. Everybody can eat, huh?
For sure.
So background, the power of social media. We know it's a real thing.
Yes, it is.
So one day the phone buzzes, and it's like, hey, I want to introduce you to my artist. His name's Jay Cameron. He's out of Atlanta. Been watching you guys' show. See the dedication and the work you guys put into it. I think he needs to be on the show. So I, like always, followed up, see what's what. I said, sure, let's make it happen. And kudos to Ron to Riches,
For sure.
your publicist, for making this
sure.
happen. He has been
For
on
sure.
point at every single turn.
For sure.
Thank you, Ron, for making this happen.
100%.
So that being said, right, he's from Atlanta, Georgia. Jay Cameron, this being the Growth Mindset podcast that it is, and this is our first time actually meeting in person, right? Please, by all means, just give our visionaries just a little bit about who you are, and then we'll go from there.
And that's your camera right there too.
Got you. Shit. I'm just a young dude out here trying to chase my dream, man. Music is my passion. everything I do with intention when it comes to this. I don't play no games. It's business for me, but it's love for the business that keep me going with this. I put this above everything, and I have to. Like, I have no choice.
So where did that come from, right? Like, did you grow up in a house that was musically inclined, like mom or dad or whomever, guardian? Did they have a hand in the music industry?
So, my uncle and my mother when she was younger, I'm from St. Louis, so a lot of my family's from St. Louis.
From the Lou.
Yeah. Shout out to Lou. Shout out Sexy Red.
Get at him.
Shout out SZA. A lot of people don't be knowing these artists from St. Louis. St. Louis one of them low key type areas where you don't know who really
let me
popping
tell you
out
something,
there.
real talk, not to derail you for a second.
Yeah.
But I promise you, bro, over the last, like, we'll call it 12 months, like, the Lou has just been, like, populating in my orifice, like, of recent.
Your orbit.
Orbit.
Orifice is a different word, but yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I get the sentiment.
So the Lou's been popping up in my purview.
Okay.
And I do not know why. The Lou in Chicago. Those are the two, and I think I'm gonna move to Chicago, but that's another story for another day. But I got a lot of love for the Lou. I went to St. Louis. What was it, October?
I think October.
I think it was October, man. And big shout out to y'all, man. It was dope, man. Although I did not know, and this isn't throwing the Lou under the bus or nothing like that. I didn't know that there was so much, like racial tension.
Oh yeah,
that was there, bro. It literally is a line. I don't know the street or whatever, but it's like
that.
Once you cross this street, it's like, okay, no more of y'all over here.
Yeah,
for
it's
real.
like that. And then a lot of people don't know, like, all the stuff that's televised about Chicago really be St. Louis, East St. Louis.
I was going to say that they mirror each
That's
other.
a whole. I went to East St. Louis too.
Yeah.
I had to.
Yeah.
I had to go holler at my people or whatever. But East St. Louis was cool. It showed me nothing but love. I got, we made it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Made it in and out of there. But
For
I
sure.
wasn't not trying to derail you or whatever.
Yeah.
So uncle,
Yeah.
mom, and then you guys are from St. Louis.
Yeah, so my mom, uncle, they're from St. Louis. My mom, I know she can sing, like most women out there. Shout out to all the ladies. She could sing, and when she was younger, I know she had a couple record label deals she had on the table, but she ended up having me. So she put that kind of to the side, put it to the back burner. And then my uncle, he's a guitarist. He's like really heavy into rock and roll. So I always had a background in music in some type of way and type of form. I was always seeing my uncle go to his concerts and perform. Then you got my mother singing around the house. A story I tell a lot of people is we would do a lot of road trips back from Atlanta to St. Louis. That's like my family's thing. They'll drive. We never really took planes. And on the way there, man, they just play a lot of R&B, a lot of old school. Like,
Now you're a young cat,
right?
So I gotta, we're kind of aging ourselves here.
Speak for yourself, homie. Speak for
You
yourself.
ain't too far behind me, bro.
Speak for yourself.
But when you talk about old school, like what was the trips from Atlanta or from St. Louis to Atlanta and back? What were y'all listening to?
Aaliyah,
Okay.
Mary J. Blige.
Okay. So now
There we go.
see how we are now. Like that's old school now.
Tony
bro.
Braxton.
That was
borders.
That was middle school, junior
Yeah.
high school. For
That
me.
You know what I
borders.
mean?
That borders.
Aretha Franklin.
Okay, now you old school.
There you
You
go.
know what I mean? So it was like those were the kind of examples of the people we would listen to. But I mean, they also would incorporate some hip hop in there, some Tupac, some Biggie, things that I'm sure if I was not in those cars, I probably would have never tapped into as much. They opened my ears to that type of sound, that older school type of sound. Because usually, whatever era you grow up in is usually the kind of music you're gonna listen to the most.
Facts.
So I'm glad I had parents that incorporated that type of music into my lifestyle, because it opened my ears to other types of styles of music.
So to the audience, our visionaries, and that's what we call our audience, right? Like, how would you describe, your music, Jay?
My music, I hate to sound cliche because I know a lot of artists, especially in my era, say this, but I kind of don't put a limit to it. If I like something, I'm going hop on that track. If it don't matter what it is, it could be a rock type of sound. Generally, of course, I like to stay in R&B because that's my genre. But I like to experiment, man, and see like what sounds incorporate still with R&B in it, but I like to play around with things.
To the novice ear, right? Like, is there and I hate to use this word, but it's the only one that comes to my mind.
Yeah.
But like, is there a comparison, or would somebody say, oh, he probably sounds a lot like?
Yeah, of course, because I'm being light skinned, people gonna say he Chris Brown automatically every time.
Okay.
You know, I get a lot of compliments on my voice. I don't have to really use auto tune like that. I guess I got that type of voice. When I hop in a booth, I don't really need that much auto tune, so I get like little accolades like that. But mainly, I feel like I get a lot of DMs from people from across like different countries, and the main thing they say is like, I've never heard somebody with your type of voice. So when I hear that, it's shocking because it's just like, well, really, I feel like it's a lot of R&B singers that can sing, but it's just like you just never know sonically how the way you sound comes to somebody else. So it's just like little things like that keep me going, you know.
100%, bro. So coming from Atlanta, right? Like that obviously is the Black Mecca, you know, and where me growing up, and I would say, you know, my early college years, like Atlanta music, So Def was like, it was banging.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So Def, you had Jagged Edge, so on and so forth. Like, where do you draw your musical inferences or inspiration from?
I listen to a lot of artists. I know a lot of artists say they don't do that, but I listen to a lot of artists. It don't affect my creativity at all. If anything, it enhances it. Because I'm a firm believer in shit. Take what everybody else doing and put your own style to it. Why not? They doing it. Somebody has always gotten something from somebody else.
Absolutely. There's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah, and you'll be able to create something new from that inspiration. You have to be inspired to create. You know what I mean? In some type of way.
Well, you just used the buzzword because as I'm listening to you talk and we're getting to know each other, you said the word inspired. It's not every day that somebody wakes up and decides, like, I'm going to make this happen in the world of music.
Right.
So 2 questions. And the first part is, when did you realize you actually had for lack of a better term, talent for it? And then the second part of it is, when did you decide, like, you know what, Jay, I'm going to do this? Yeah. Because a lot of people had on the show, like, they have a moment of clarity or a fork in the road moment. They're like, you know what, I'm doing this. And I'm going to put as you said, I'm going to put all my energy and all my effort into doing this.
Because I'm sure you was a ball player, some type of sport, right? And then you had to say, you know what? It is what it is. I'm a little shorter. You know what I'm saying? So let me focus on this.
Yeah. Man, in high school, bro, I used to sing a lot for the ladies, man. They would call me and my homie on the phone and ask them to sing songs. My homie was he was the one that started singing first. Okay. His name, shout out to Play. And he was signed to a group, I think, under Trey Songz. Okay. I was kind of on the back burner. Like, we both knew we could sing. He didn't want to introduce me to, like, recording and all that. He had a little home studio in his house. And I was always kind of, like, not shy, but I just was kind of dude, like, I'm a kid just trying to figure out life. I didn't really care about too much stuff, man. I just was just living life. But he introduced me to, like, recording. I would go to his house and we would just make, like, stupid little songs. And I would never take them serious. He would always save them, though. Like, to this day, he'll send me, he'd be like, remember when you used to do this? Yeah. Yeah, he that type of friend. And I'm glad he do that because, like, looking back on it, it's like, damn, like, we was 13, 12 and making these songs that I would never think. And now look what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So it's eye-opening. But, yeah, he introduced me to it. And I would always just sing for girls on the phone. And as I kept doing it, I was like, man, like, okay, the girls is liking what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And I'll also see, like, in the game, bro, there wasn't no really R&B artists.
It's dead. Like, true R&B is dead, in my opinion.
It's dead.
The basis of R&B for what we know it as when we grew up, yes, it is, yes. Shout out to Boston in the background.
Yeah, hold on. Hey, stop it. Sit down. Sit. No.
What do you think he wants?
He just wants some attention.
Keep him occupied, Adam.
So like, I feel like, you know, R&B is dead. And it's interesting because I left a golf tournament today, and I'm playing with my brother. And
shout out to Drew.
What up, Drew? We had somehow or another Tiny Desk. Went to YouTube's Tiny Desk, and we listened to Scarface, and then we listened to Jeezy, and then I think the next one up was like Usher
or Justin Timberlake, one of the two.
No, it was Usher for the way that the playlist was going, and we just really kind of sat and like marveled at like his catalog, bro. Like you talk about depth,
yes,
like spanning 3 decades. You know what I mean? And you don't see that now in terms of like R&B.
Yeah.
Like, and this is no offense, but it's your one hit wonders, people that kind of come out like even someone, I think you mentioned Trey Songz, right? Like remarkable talent, but like nowhere close to the sustainable career
as Usher
of an Usher, right? But it goes to talk to like the genre of true R&B is just it's fading away, man. And for me, as someone that grew up in the 90s, influenced by the Tony Braxtons, right? Jodeci. I mean, like you go on 112, Boys and Men,
Jagged Edge.
Like Jagged Edge would be on like repeat back in the day. And I'm about to say something now. We had CD players, okay?
I was around for the CD players a little bit before they died.
Yeah. So that would always be in my CD player in the Mountaineer, my '98 Mountaineer.
Yeah.
But like, we just don't live in that age anymore. And it's so encouraging to see a young brother like yourself.
Yeah.
That's like, no, R&B ain't dead.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm here.
Yeah.
Just wait.
Yeah.
Just wait. I'm coming. I got
Yeah.
something for y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's super encouraging, man. Yeah. But let me ask you this. I know you talked about like, 12, 13, whatever, kind of singing for the ladies, but like why R&B when there's so like music has evolved to the point where there's not really a way that you can kind of label it.
Yeah.
Like why R&B?
I think the emotion that R&B brings. I feel like we all try to lack having emotion. There's nothing wrong about having emotion. There's nothing wrong with saying you love a woman. There's nothing wrong with saying you love somebody. I think R&B just hits harder.
I agree.
Than everything else. That's just my opinion. I love hip hop. I love pop. But R&B is just like, it hits different. When you see how it affects other people, when, like, for example, like you said, Usher. When you hear an Usher song, bro, like, yeah, Tupac and all them gonna hit, but when you hear a certain song by Usher, like Let It Burn and stuff like that,
there's some things you can do with Usher that you can't do with Tupac.
You know what I mean? So that's enough said right there. So it's
that's
just
probably
like,
how you got here.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, man, I don't know, R&B just speaks to me. You know what I'm saying? And then like, I'm a firm believer in I didn't pick it, it picked me.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I swear I did not plan to do this.
So how long have you been like legit in the music industry?
2019.
Okay, so the last 5 years.
2019.
Right? So in the last 5 years, you've had an opportunity to grow and see a lot of things. And earlier you talked about like, hey, I love the business aspect of music as well.
Yeah.
I'm curious, and I'm sure our visionaries are curious, like, what is that like from hey, I'm a young kid who's got a lot of talent, I can sing, and then now that you're in the business, you can actually see how the business is done. Like, can you kind of speak to what that's like?
Yeah. Man, one day, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. One day I said, I'm about to take this music serious, and I already know that when I step out, people gonna think I'm a joke. Ain't nobody gonna think I'm a joke when I start this. At all. Like,
what was that day like?
That day I was on the phone. Matter of fact, I was on the phone with my brother who live in St. Louis, and I just remember calling him and telling him like, bro, I'm about to try to do music. And he's just kind of just like, okay, like kind of like. And I remember that same day, I made my first single called "Act Up," and I was on the phone with him bar for bar singing the song. I was like, bro, what you think about this? What you think? He's like, it's cool. I kept singing. He was like, it's straight. Finished the song, right? It took me maybe a day or two. It's like a real quick song. Found the beat online. Man, when I tell you, when I dropped that song, so many clubs was calling me to book. So many people online. The song went crazy. For me personally as an artist, it stamped that I was doing what I needed to do for a song that was just like a quick throwaway, not even really R&B, just a quick like kind of hip hop-ish R&B type of song.
Okay.
And when I knew that it was up like that, I was like, oh yeah. I'm not playing. Like, I'm not playing. I told my brother, like, hey, look, this is gonna pop off.
Where does that drive, that inner fortitude come from?
I don't know. That's a good question. I just know I cannot be taken as no joke.
Well, why is that important to you not to be taken as a joke? Why is it important for you to be considered serious about your craft?
I think it's because so many people try to do music nowadays, and it's so easy to do it. Because all you gotta do is buy a mic, and the person who don't really, people that's in it for the wrong reasons, can get it. You know what I mean? I don't care about no money and all this. I got a whole full-time job that pays me well. I don't care about that. I care about people loving my art. You know what I mean? And I know that's what I see a lot of artists are missing. It's like, I care about the art.
The actual craft.
I care about the craft. Like, when I go in the booth, my goal is to go hard. I need people to be like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? I need that oh, shit reaction on every song. Even if I don't get it, that's my mindset when I go in the booth.
Okay, so now you know you talking about my language.
Here it is.
My question is, and I respect everything you said, hands down, that's dope. Why is that so important to you, though? Like, let's peel back that layer and let the audience know who Jay really is. Why is it so important when the mic cuts on, you're in the booth, headphones on, smokers in the air? You know what I'm saying? Why do we have to go hard in the paint?
I feel like I got something to prove, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I'm being real. I don't know. I feel like I just got something to prove. What is that? Where does that come from? Have you been doubted? I feel like I live a lot in my mind where I feel like automatically when somebody looks at me, they doubting me. Why? I don't know that. I don't know.
So hold on. So I've been reading.
Yeah.
And so he said, he's got this imaginary chip on his shoulder, but he can't say, oh, this person doubted me or whatnot. But inevitably, there is, like you said, he's in his mind a lot. Inevitably, there is some factor where, sometimes people call it imposter syndrome. Sometimes it's something deep in your subconscious. Sometimes it's you against you.
Yeah.
Right? Is it a situation where it's you versus the person in the mirror who's like, okay, Jay, like, okay, you say you're gonna do this, but man, are you really serious about this? And you're trying to prove yourself to that person in the mirror, like, no. I'm dead serious about this, and watch what I do.
I feel like, exactly that. I feel like it's sometimes I wake up and I look in the mirror and it's like I'm a very confident guy, right? No matter where I am in a room, I'm walking in my head high, 10 toes, you know what I mean? And I think we all have those moments where sometimes we get alone and we like, damn, am I really who? You know what I mean? Am I really who I think I? And that you could call that the devil, whoever, something in your ear. It could just be your mind playing tricks on you where just sometimes that doubt come in. I'm not letting that doubt creep in and tell me who I am.
So I think that mentality is, first of all, thank you for your transparency and your candor, right? Like, because there's a lot of people, I don't care whether you're, in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, that we all experience that in some walk, form, or fashion, right?
That's for real.
And so if we could be honest with ourselves and say, maybe there's not a person, because a lot of times we hear, oh, you doubted me. Well, sometimes no one doubted you, right?
People weren't even paying attention to you.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, and sometimes it's like Jordan created the boogeyman himself, right? Like, of course, there's a guy when he was a freshman, blah, blah, blah. Like, we all know that story. But sometimes there are people that says, you really are good. And you got to create that monster.
You got to create that carrot, that rabbit, if you will.
And that negative voice in your ear. Yeah. And then other times, there's times where, maybe you don't have the notoriety, but you still have to psych yourself up, right? And I think that's important to be able to manufacture. I don't want to say a desire because the desire is already there, but it's manufacturing like you have an opposition in front of you, right? To make you go harder, because I think a lot of times most people will try harder when you say I can't do such and such, right? You can't climb this wall, you can't run this fast, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And so if we can create that in our mind,
We all need an
it just shows-
adversary.
Yeah, 100%, and it just shows how like powerful the mind is.
Yeah, it is.
Like once I've decided, and I was having this conversation the other day, like once you decide to do whatever it is that you're gonna do, it's really on you.
Yeah.
And so you put yourself to your own test.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it's also, I know the road that I'm taking. You know what I mean? I know the road is a tough road. It's been since 2019. I done been scammed. I done been played around with everything when it comes to this business. It's been a lot of, music industry is dark. They don't care. A lot of people will prey on you, and I stress this to all artists every time I speak. You know what I mean? To handle your business and move business first when it comes to this. I love this as a passion, but I had to learn how to separate my passion from the business. And that was the most hardest thing for me.
What was the first hard lesson in regard to making sure the business is in order before you set foot on your passion?
Shit, a lot of people didn't ask me to do certain things. Some people didn't ask me to get on a song. I get on a song, I go hard on that song. I don't want to put it out.
And then you look up and it's out.
It's out.
Oh wow.
And there ain't nothing I can do about it. Or they take what I wrote, flip it around. You know what I mean? Make their own words into it. You know, so it's stuff like that where it's just like, okay, what if I could have got a bag from that song? Or what if they getting some type of bag? I don't care if it's $1. You know what I mean? For me, getting the money I made from my creativity is amazing. That's the best feeling ever. It don't matter how much it is. And also that notoriety part, making sure I get the correct brand recognition. People know Jay Cameron did that shit. You know what I mean? That was what made me be like, okay, we got to get that. That's what made me tell my manager, we got to get a business right. I can't mix and just be like, oh no, I'll do a song and have no paperwork, have no discussions with their manager and my manager. It's got to be business in order. And when you look at all these other artists, that's how they handling it. You know what I mean? You're not going to see Chris Brown do a verse with somebody and he ain't got the bag first. You know what I mean? There ain't paperwork first. He got specific rules before that song come out set. In certain ways, that song has to come out before he even probably step in the booth. And I was just doing goofy stuff like that.
Well, I wouldn't say that because you're young in the game.
Yeah.
And I don't give a damn who you are, Chris Brown included, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm sure when he was 14, 13, 14, 15, whatever, you know, he made some ill-advised decisions at that point until he realized what he was, you know, working with and and understand the business aspect of it. As long as you ain't got no Diddy clause.
Yeah,
you know?
right. Well, see, the difference with Chris Brown,
Pause.
See, at least he had industry professionals to help him. You know what I mean? With me, it's more just like I'm straight independent. I got people on my team who have no idea about the music industry. So we literally learn as we go. I got all my people specialized in a certain type of department that they just are good in. You know what I mean? I got a marketing dude, shout out to Manny. He don't really know that much about music, but I've shown them and explained to them what I know about the music business to help them in this industry while they tagging along with me while I'm on this journey.
So why choose people in your camp that have little to no experience in the music industry?
And I know that probably sounds crazy, but
that's relative. That's relative.
What it is like I said, the music industry is dark. It's a lot of fake people. It's a lot of people out there that'll use you. The fact that I've known these people, like my manager, for example, I know him since I was in college. We was roommates. I know they got my best interest. You know what I mean? I've got friends who've been signed who thought people loved them. Managers stole hundreds of thousands from them. You know what I mean? And was taking care of them, letting them buy club, making them think they loved them the whole time. You know what I mean? So it's like finding that person that really has no idea the bag they could touch for money, has no idea of, not even worried about it, because the people that's on my team are chasing their own dreams. Their dream isn't to do what they're doing for me. This is all to help me. You know what I mean?
I got you.
It's just the fact that I know that they good people that help me. Sometimes, man, be honest with y'all, sometimes I don't even pay them. They do what I need them to do. You know what I mean? being honest. Sometimes they do it off the strength of the love for the brand because they see where it's going.
He said another buzzword because I've been wanting to ask him about this. The brand.
Yeah.
So your artist name is Jay Cameron.
Yeah.
What is the story behind it?
Yeah.
What is the inspiration? When was the birth of Jay Cameron? Like how did you come to be Jay Cameron?
My first name Jordan, my middle name Cameron.
Oh, okay.
You know what
Simple
I mean?
enough.
I just thought it was a good name. I try to look at all like major artists, right? And most major artists kind of got like use their regular name for the most part. You know, Trey Songz, Tory Lanez, Chris Brown. I wanted to pick strong name, like a strong brand name. I didn't want to have like a what's the word? I didn't want to have like a name like The Weeknd, one of those like kind of mysterious gimmicky type names. Like no, I wanted you to be like I didn't want to separate who I was. You know, character.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do characters.
Gotcha.
I wanted to be.
You want to have a sense of self still.
You know what I mean? That way I wouldn't get lost.
So you're on this track on the Ascend, right?
Yeah.
How and you mentioned earlier that you have, you got a full-time job.
Yeah.
How are you balancing the music industry and having a full-time job? Like, at the time of this recording, it's a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm sure you don't work in Dallas, right?
Nope.
And where do you reside?
A lot of my stuff remote, so I'm lucky to have that. A lot of times I'm working at home.
Is home Atlanta?
Yeah, home is Atlanta. It's hard to balance it, man. I tell people all the time, man, it's hard to do a lot of things. I made a lot of sacrifices doing this, a lot. So I know the meaning of sacrifice. I have not lived the life of anybody in their 20s at all. I started doing this when I was like 25, I think.
Oh, wow.
I'm 29 now, so it's like I made a lot of sacrifices. I wasn't living life like everybody else and my friends because I knew I had to grind. I knew I had to lock in and learn things, and wasn't nobody going to teach me. I don't have, even the people that I'm cool with that were signed, they weren't going to take the time to teach me about the business because they don't even know the business. They got somebody else handling it for them. I looked at that and said, I never want to be like that because I would see the outcome of that. So I said, I'm going to have to learn the business myself. Literally, and when I tell y'all 24, and Ron can attest to this, my manager, and 24 hours I'm locked in behind a computer, writing things down, studying the music business like school, learning everything I can, and it helps me.
What's the biggest lesson you learned up to this point from on the business side of it?
Everything's strictly business. Everything's strictly business. I don't take nothing personal.
Okay, so with that, I got to rebut that for a second.
Yeah.
I'm just giving an example.
Yeah.
Let's say you run into a promoter.
Yeah.
And y'all just, the energy is right.
Yeah.
You vibing with dude,
Yeah.
you vibing with chick,
Yeah.
whomever it is, right?
Yeah.
And y'all have kicked it now for, a couple of months.
Yeah.
And this is a person that really feels like you can trust.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To a degree.
Yeah.
But then it comes down and some shit pops off.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the conversation is, well, it's just business.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you swallow that pill? Do you really say, yeah, it's just business? But because, like, we're all humans at the end of the day.
Right. And that's why I was telling y'all earlier, it's very hard. It's the hardest decision for me to do that. But I do it well because you probably don't hear me cussing out on the phone, getting mad, swinging in the air, putting holes in the wall, whatever. But I would never show that when it comes to business. I treat this like I would my 9 to 5. Shit, my boss might do some shit to me that I don't like. I can't cuss her out. I treat this exactly like my job, my 9 to 5. Doing it that way, you'll be more successful in my opinion. I cannot let nobody see me out my element.
I got you.
Know what
Never
I mean?
let them see you sweat.
I'll do that at home. You know what I mean? I'll do it with my team and tell them, hey, this and this happened, which I've done before. This and this happened. We're not going to let that happen again. And this is why.
You're in this business for 5 years now.
Yeah.
The day you decided that I'm going to do this, you put your first signal out, act up.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this registered with people.
Yeah.
When that registered, when you reconcile that internally with yourself,
Yeah.
what did you envision once you decide to, okay, I'm all about this music thing? What did your vision look like then versus what it looks like right now?
Boy, that's a great question. When I started, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, I was in this just for the women and to never had to work a regular job. I could just do this
Never
for fun.
have to work for something else either.
No, you know what I mean? Not gonna lie, that was the main thing I cared about. Man, that was 5 years ago. Now, bro, because I've been doing this so long, it's been such a hard journey, especially the one thing about learning the music industry, bro, it help you grow, like it help you mature. A lot of people I meet, they be like, man, you so mature for your age. It's because I do this. It's because I do this music industry. I heard Lil Yachty say it too before on YouTube on one of his shows, I think. He's like, him being in the music industry had him mature a lot. And I see why. It's because when you're so young, you have to learn the business.
So give us a real life example.
Mm-hmm.
Not, don't drop names or anything like that, but
yeah.
like give us an example of how you had to grow up because of an experience that you had within the music industry.
Man, I've been told, hey bro, if you do this, I'll help you get on doing something. And then me being gullible, I'll be like, oh, that's all I gotta do? All right, here you go. Nothing. Gone. And then you start seeing that's a lot of people like that in the industry. You start talking to other artists who signed, they're like, oh yeah, buddy did that? I did the same thing, fell for it. And you know what I mean? It's a lot of scams out there, bro. It's a lot of, like I said, artists asking you to do a feature. They know you hot. They see your Instagram hot. They think they could do a come up. Okay, hop on my song and do this for me. I'll make sure you good and all this. I'll make sure, we straight. We'll make sure it's the hottest song out. Make sure your brand is recognized. Nothing.
That's
I
social
get a lot of
currency.
DMs. I get a lot of DMs from artists, blue checks, everything before blue checks could be bought. Blue checks and everything, bro. I need you to hop on this song. And I start realizing, you know why they want me to hop on the song? Because it's going to benefit them, which goes back to the business. They see I'm young. They see I'm hot. I want to use him for leverage. I don't care about him or his brand. And I stress that to my manager, too. They don't care about our brand. We got to care about our brand.
So how do you do that? That's a great segue. Like, how do you focus on your brand? Because obviously, especially in today's day and age, like collaborations helps you catapult to the top.
Right.
Even in our industry, right? But if you're giving everybody the Heisman, with all due respect, right? Like, how do you catapult to the top?
I try not to give everybody the Heisman. What I do is I tell my team we need to find people who are as serious as us. So literally, I have my manager scout. If they page don't look like mine, if their hustle don't look like mine, and he could tell. If you don't see that fire, like when you talk to me, this is exactly what I tell my manager on. When you talk to me and you see the way I speak about music, if you don't get that same feeling from somebody else, we not doing no work with them. If I bring up contracts and the first thing that person says is, why do we need contracts? We not doing no work with them. Because an old head once told me, if they don't like contracts, you ain't got no business doing no business with them anyway.
Big facts.
When he said that to me, it stuck with me.
Big facts.
That is a gem right there.
Yeah.
That is a gem.
You don't got no business doing no business with them anyways, because that tell you all you need to know about how they care about how they move with business and how they care about the fact how you move with your business. Man, like I told y'all, man, this I ain't gonna sit here and lie to y'all, man. This shit ain't easy. But when you got the passion for it, and that's one thing I do, I got the passion for it. I love it. All the other shit that y'all question me about, I don't even, you know what I mean? I have no choice because there's so much ahead that's like, I gotta, you know what I mean? Get through this door.
So I'm glad you said that.
He's
right?
on a mission. This is what I love about it. He's on a mission.
Yeah, he is, and I think it's appropriate for visionaries to understand what is Jay Cameron's vision.
Yeah.
For Jay Cameron.
Yeah.
And your career. What does that look like?
Doing this role, right? Because when I first started, man, my whole goal was just like, man, I just want to get signed. I'm going to keep making music till I get signed. Now, bro, I don't even care about that. My job, we going to be the label. I got a whole record label, LLC, everything. To do my taxes for my LLC, everything. I don't play. It's my label. My whole goal as an artist is to, one, teach other artists, unsigned artists, how to be successful as an artist at whatever level that is. You know what I mean? Make sure your business is straight where even if you're not signed, you're not the biggest artist, everybody don't know you. Man, your city might just know you. Your little town might know you. You don't need that many people to know you to make a good bag off of music. You know what I mean? 100 people paying you $10 a day, do the math, or $10 every song. You know what I mean?
This is true.
100 people is not a lot. We live on a planet of 8 billion.
Right.
You know what I mean? So imagine 100,000 people just like your song. It don't take that much. But in order to get that money and not have to work for somebody doing something you hate, you got to know the business. I know artists who been doing music told me they got their song playing at like NFL games, but because he don't got his business right, they playing that song, they don't got to pay you nothing.
Because they don't see a penny of it.
Are you serious?
That's what this TikTok artist told me, man. He's like, man, I had my song playing in the NFL, and I don't know how to. Didn't know nothing about the business.
Yep. Then you get into the conversation of like owning your masters and all that stuff
And
too.
you think these people don't care? They don't care. You don't know your business.
That's your fault. That's your fault.
You don't got a manager. That's on you. That's why a lot of these labels will prey on artists. They'll get them from the hood. They know they don't care nothing about business. Oh, we'll give you $20,000. These kids ain't never seen $20,000 in their life. You about to drop that right in their account the next day. They don't care.
All right, so you speaking real game.
Yeah.
There's your camera.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Talk to these young cats that may be on the block, in the hood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what advice can you share with them?
Like I said, man, artists, have your business straight. Find people that y'all really like, that really love y'all, really care about y'all. If it got to be your family, whatever. If it got to be your friend, whatever. These people might not be around forever, but find people when you starting your journey that you really know care about where you're trying to go. You got to be selfish. You got to be about your mission, and you got to be about this music. Got to put your passion in it, but don't let that passion over exceed the business that got to be handled. That's it.
Man, that's a real game right there, bro. Like I personally appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't realize that, yeah, we have dreams, we have visions. Obviously, this is a vision lab, right? So we have these visions of where we want, you know, our dream, our baby to go.
Yeah.
But if you don't have, you know, we have Saludo on a couple of weeks ago, right?
Shout out to Saludo.
If you don't have your paperwork on or on point, it's all for naught. You know, you mentioned the TikTok artist songs playing within the league.
Yeah.
Seeing no paper from that, seeing no accolades from the hard work that young man, I'm assuming, put in.
Yeah.
You know, the hard work that he put in.
Yeah.
Got nothing for it, man. So I certainly commend you on that, for making sure that you understand the business element to the music industry.
Yeah, and then, like I say, I tell artists all the time, like even artists I feature with, I don't know everything about the business. It's still a lot I'm learning, but I'm going to use what I know, and what I know I can learn. Every day I'm learning something about the business. I dedicate at least an hour almost every day to learning something.
So it sounds like to me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, you're not even 30 yet.
Yeah.
But it sounds like you have visions of being like a label that has artists underneath your label that you can manage.
That could be, I always think about that as a route. I know that's not my super dream, my whole vision. My vision first is to make sure I'm good as an artist before I ever try to help any other artist. But on my journey, I'm willing to give tips and game.
Okay.
Where I'm going on this road, I don't know. I can't lie to y'all. But I love what I'm doing. I love the way I'm doing it. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you got to embrace the journey.
No, but
that's what I do.
I think it's respectable and commendable, and I think it's very akin to your generation.
Yeah,
like they're willing to give game as they ascend, and what we call it in our fraternity is lifting as we climb.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like you're willing to reach back behind you and help Joe blow up. They may pass you, but it's all for the love of music in general. You know, maybe it doesn't benefit Jay Cameron.
Yeah.
Right? But because I can give you a couple of bars of advice, blah, 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 and maybe that catapults, you know, Cuff, whatever.
It's because of that love, like I said, for that art. I don't want somebody who also enjoys something I do to be taken advantage of.
That's so dope, and it's hella mature.
You know what I mean?
That's a hell of a mature
To me, that's
mindset.
lame. Like, taking advantage of something that, you know, it's like being in a fraternity. You wouldn't want your brothers to have to go outside. You gonna make sure they straight. if you love music as much as I love music, you doing it. I look at you as, you know, my brother. Even though I said I put the business first, I don't want to see you going out. You know what I'm saying?
But that's not a common mentality.
Yeah.
And I think you can agree, at least in our generation, right?
Oh man.
Like it is very much a crab mentality.
Yeah.
And let me get to the top.
Yeah.
And then maybe I'll help you out.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, versus like, hey, you know, I'll help you up. Maybe I'm this high on the mountain, but I'll reach and pull you up. And if you surpass me and I'm still here, then it's all good. That's just like, I think that's just such a mature mentality and mindset to have.
I also think I do it to a certain extent too. What it cost me to give somebody a little game just to talk to them and say it ain't like I'm sitting here. It ain't like I'm sitting here dedicating hours of my time to. No, we still focused on Jay Cameron. But what it cost me to help somebody avoid the issues or the traumas I had. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody to have to go through that. If I can help avoid you to go through something that I went through, why would I not do that? You know what I mean?
That's so much love, bro.
Because that ain't got where they going on their journey ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I mean?
That's such a mature
ain't got nothing to do with me.
Though. Like you really.
There's people who getting signed right now before me. You know what I mean? So what? Me helping you if you got signed the next day just like I gave you some game gonna affect me. You know what I mean?
I think you understand that.
People don't.
Right.
You gotta understand. Like, you know, I'm a little older than you.
Yeah.
And we're both older than you, but like, that is not a common mindset.
Yeah.
That is not a common mentality.
Yeah.
Especially when we're talking about the music industry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let me hold this piece of the pie, you know, because I'm not sure who else is coming behind me. That was the generation that we grew up in.
Yeah.
So like, I really do. I tip my hat to you, sir.
For
like
sure.
that is an amazing mindset.
I think it's the best way to go about it in this game. I mean, I know they say that. I got a lot of friends who are artists or people acquaintances that I know who probably think like that. I don't really feel like you have to be like that. I feel like that's the easy route to be like that. You know what I mean? Just to not care about nobody, only care about yourself for everything. Man, I'm living this life. I'm gonna get where I need to get to.
I think he has an understanding of you know, there's a saying, what's for you is for you.
Yeah.
And nobody can stop it.
Nobody
you
can
try
stop
to delay it and postpone it, but
Nobody
what's
can
for
stop
you
it.
and where it is you're supposed to be, you will end up there.
100%.
I'm still doing well, and I'm helping other people out. And a lot of people that I helped out, they not doing whatever that they was doing before. So it's just like, why not help, man? Why not give a little game? And it's like, hey, man, like I said, I love it. If you love it and you want some advice and I can help you with something, I'm going to do it.
Before we wind things down, we have not asked you, what is your social media handles? How can people reach out to you? They want to hear more. Hey, Boston, we're almost done, buddy. If they want to hear more, they would get to know more about you. But how can they find you from a social media standpoint?
So I'm Jay Cameron everything. Jay Cameron Universe, Jay Cameron World. I'm trying to think what else I got. I got some different type of handles too on some different other platforms.
How do you spell Cameron?
Cameron. So Jay Cameron.
And that's J-A-Y?
J, just a J.
Just a J.
Just
okay.
a J. And shout out to another Jay Cameron. All the platforms keep putting your songs under my songs.
Is he hidden?
He's like a Mexican artist, but I be having to contact so many platforms to get you off of my stuff. Very annoying, bro.
Y'all should do a collab. Just right, as a parody.
Just call it Jay Cameron.
Like, that's the annoying part, and that's just the side of the business right there. It's a lot of times where I gotta contact Spotify's customer support, contact a certain platform support team, and that might take days, weeks to get something changed. You
the Spotify user like, man, I'm looking for this great R&B, and I got this Mexican dude singing on here. Like, wait a second, something is wrong.
Not to hate on the other Jay Cameron.
Yeah. No hate at all. I mean, you doing your thing, bro. Whoever you are, but
he's Jay Cameron.
Yeah, we just gotta change your name.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We just gotta change your name. But man, that's another thing of just the business, man. Just like making sure your brand over exceeds somebody else if you got the same name, or figuring out like how to make sure y'all differentiated within the music catalogs. That's it, man. Like I said, this is my life, my journey. This is what I like to do.
Is there a website?
There used to be. Right now we're trying to get it back running. I got a website guy. Shout out to Leo, who's working on rebuilding my website.
Okay.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So we reached that point of the show where we were going to land the plane.
Yeah.
Be respectful of your time and the other things you got to get done while you're here in DFW.
Yeah.
So that said,
Yeah.
There's a round table.
Yeah.
It's you and 5 other imaginary guests.
Yeah.
They can be dead or alive. The only stipulation we put on it is that you can't have God or whatever religious entity you believe in at your table.
Yeah.
Besides that, who are the 5 other people at your table?
5 people just eating with me?
It's your table, however you want to do it.
Eating, drinking, smoking, singing.
I'm putting all my family in one chair for sure.
That's a way to circumvent the system.
Yeah. Putting all my family in one chair for sure. My manager right now, Ron, man, he definitely got to be in there. I would say this thing called music definitely got to be there. Definitely got to be around that round table just because it's just in my life, and it is my life.
Okay.
That's 3. 2 more people. 2 more people, man.
Dead or alive.
Dead or alive. God in one of those chairs.
Can't have God or Jesus.
Too easy.
Have God or Jesus.
It's too easy.
They watching though for sure.
Always.
I'm trying to think 2 more people. I'm trying to think who's like staples in my life, man, right now, especially. Said my family, said my manager, music. Trying to think, who else would I say? I'd probably say my 2 homies, Jamari, Jareen, man. Jareen, the other artist, play. I got a friend named Jamari. He take a lot of my Instagram photos for me, man. Just off the strength. Whenever I need somebody to capture content for me, he there. And then my homie Play, who got me started with this in general. I would definitely say they would be at that table, man.
That's dope. So a lot of people that are already kind of in your inner circle.
Yeah, in my inner circle, a part of my journey in some type of form or fashion.
Yeah. There's a fondness and a love and a respect for family.
Yeah, no, for sure, because you're not nothing without your family.
Amen. Yes, sir.
You're not nothing without your family. And then I got such a good family. They support me in whatever I do.
So normally I ask 1 or 2 questions.
Yeah.
We've already kind of addressed one, which is the long-term vision of Jay Cameron.
Yeah.
Typically I go to, like, what if you were a book, what would be the title of your book?
Yeah.
But because you're a music artist,
Yeah.
what is going to be the title of your first platinum album?
Ooh, good question.
I think of that all the time. And a lot of times, you know what I think? I think I just do a self-titled album, Jay Cameron. Just because I always want something that would have a legacy type sound to it when it came to like my first really platinum album. And think about it, if it's platinum, that means people going to be referring to it forever, most likely. And seeing that name, that title, Jay Cameron, you know that name never going to die. Because when you think about even like, let's say Chris Brown, one of the biggest R&B artists, his first title album, Chris Brown. You know what I mean? It just hit better. Even I think Michael Jackson might have had another album too named that just Jackson or Michael Jackson, whatever. But it's a couple artists who've had like albums named after they brand name. I just think having that brand recognizability, whatever the word is, notability, and just making sure people know your brand is the best way to be remembered. I would like my first album just to have my brand name.
Respect.
I wouldn't want nothing corny like it's been a long road. You know what I mean? Like everybody says all that. I think I would just
From the Lou to the A?
Yeah, something like that. Like like I think for sure just having my brand name would be my first album, man.
Love
Platinum album.
All right, so first of all, we just want to give you big props for jumping into the lab.
Appreciate it.
Very, very impressed with you, young man.
Thank you.
Love your humility, love the mentality to help people up on your way up as well.
Yeah.
So super dope to you on that. In case you didn't know, here in the lab, we do have a magical time machine.
Yeah.
Okay. So what advice would Jay Cameron be giving himself from 5 years ago, 2019? You just started into the business.
Yeah.
What advice would you give him today?
Keep your head up. It's about to get wild.
Start off with a little Tupac. Okay.
It's about to get wild. And Don't let nothing stop you. Nothing.
Love it.
Don't let nothing stop you.
All right, so now we're gonna make you a little bit older.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're nearing 35.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What advice would that 34, 35-year-old, he's looking back at you today.
Yeah.
What advice is he telling you today, Jay Cameron?
I would say probably you're on the right path, but you need to go harder. That's what I would say.
Go harder.
You're on the right path. You're on the right path, but you need to go harder.
So that you heard yourself talking to yourself.
Yeah.
So you got the marching orders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You work. You're doing good, but you need to go harder.
There it is. There
What you
it
doing?
is.
What you think is enough ain't even close to what's enough.
So let's go.
Yeah.
It's time to ratchet up.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's what I would say.
But brother, listen, like I said, it's been an honor to have you into the lab.
For sure,
I
for sure.
really
Appreciate y'all.
You know, your energy is phenomenal, your humbleness.
Yeah.
You've got humility with pride
Oh God.
and dignity at the same time.
Yeah.
I think you're going to do some amazing things. You're obviously very, very talented. Thank you for dropping a couple of bars.
Yeah.
Unscripted, you know what I'm saying? No warm up or anything like that, like grilling and everything. Yeah. So certainly appreciate you, stopping by, jumping into the lab.
Yeah.
One more time with your social media handles for all of our visionaries to get a hold of you.
It's Jay Cameron, man. Jay Cameron Universe, Jay Cameron World. That's JCAMERON UNIVERSE. And then Jay Cameron World. I know y'all know how to spell world. I ain't gonna spell that for y'all. Better not have to. So yeah, man, that's how y'all find me, man. Instagram for sure. I love Instagram. So definitely, if y'all on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. I got Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. I'm on everything, man. I've made a pretty good brand for myself, man. I just got my Google Knowledge panel, so I'm actually really proud of that.
Congrats.
Having enough they call it online real estate, where your brand is on so much different platforms, so Google recognizes that and makes a little, those little side thing where you type in a famous person's name and comes out with a little biography and stuff. So I finally got one of those. So that's just cool, man. It just let me know I'm doing the right thing, you know what I mean? It's hard doing it alone because I got so much I'm learning. I'm one person. Label got 30 people doing something for an artist, 50 people, 100 people doing it. You one person trying to do it. It's not impossible though, man. There's so many artists out here independent doing it. Just got to find that team to help you up while you doing it.
Yeah. Shout out to your team as well.
Yeah, shout out to my team, man. Shout out Manny, shout out Ron, shout out Mari, shout out Play. Man, shout out to everybody who knows they helped me, even if we only worked one time, even if you just was a photographer or whatever. You part of this journey. So shout out you.
Awesome. Well, again, Jay Cameron, thank you for jumping into the lab.
For sure.
Remember, visionaries, each one of our guests that are jumping into the lab are dropping nuggets of wisdom here on the Trail of Life. Ultimately, my friends, it's up to you to pick them up.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Mosley. He is Ryan Cuffey. Thank you again to our guest, Jay Cameron, all the way from Atlanta, Georgia.
ITL.
And we'll see you guys next time on another episode of the Vision Lab Podcast.
Bow.
Blessings.